So we are here at downtown Tampa at KPI's headquarters, where I did all my learning with Topher Morrison, who is my mentor, my coach, and you
Trust me, he learned a lot outside of here as well. We've taught him like a tiny fraction of what he knows. The guy's very, very smart. He's being humble right now.
I appreciate it, but I really learned a lot from him.
Thank you.
And I'm here today because a couple of things. One thing, he wrote this book, which is called The Book on Public Speaking, that I actually need a lot.
Have you read it yet?
No, I
Cool.
have not.
Listen, I know you bought it. Thank you. It won't get weird. I'll never ask you if you read it after today.
Yes, I will read it. I promise.
All right, cool.
Okay, so a couple of things. Before we even get started, about the book, I wanted to ask you about pitching, because you were just on the news channel about pitching.
Yep.
And first of all, I
Good
wanted...
day, Tampa Bay.
Exactly. And I wanted you to introduce yourself with your pitch, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Put me on the spot.
Yes.
No problem. So I'll look right through the lens and dip look at my
Yes.
pitch. Cool. Hey, how you doing? My name's Topher Morrison. I'm the managing director of Key Person of Influence. We're a training and development company which specializes in taking second stage businesses, helping them to make more money, work with better customers, and we do our jobs right, they even get their time back. And we do so in a very unique way. The Huffington Post referred to us as the world's leading personal brand accelerator. We have offices in Singapore, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, London, and right here in Tampa, Florida. And what we do is we address three big issues that most small business owners face. The first one is that success breeds competition. The fact that they're doing so well, other people want to get into the business, and as a result of that, they find newbies coming onto the scene and starting to compete on price. So even established companies with great reputation and a proven track record, they find themselves having to lower their price. Nobody likes to do that. The second challenge is that usually their biggest competition is themselves. We typically work with alpha business leaders just like this, who are constantly trying to outperform last quarter's numbers. So they put a great deal of stress on themselves about always trying to get better leads for either their salespeople or them, depending upon how their business is structured. And that creates a lot of stress. And then the third thing is probably a combination of the first two. They can just find themselves getting burnt out. And at this stage in the game, it really shouldn't be that hard. Well, we solve those problems by creating a 5-step methodology which takes a business owner and transforms them into an industry-recognized thought leader. The ending result is that they can charge whatever the heck they want to charge. They get to work with whoever they want to work with, and they have a hell of a lot more fun in the process. The reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I think small business is where the fun is at. You know, I look at big businesses and they're kind of like these massive tankers in the ocean, and the ocean represents the economy. As soon as the tides shift, they take forever to turn. We're like these little speedboats, man. We can pivot on a dime and it's fun. And I like that. That's to me where I think the fun in business is at. If you were to speak to our customers, they would tell you that we're known for taking business owners and transforming them into industry-recognized thought leaders.
Awesome.
There we go.
And by the way, that was not rehearsed. I mean, it's live.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him we were doing this.
Right.
I said we're going to talk about the book.
Yeah.
So I basically put him on spot. So
Yep.
obviously he did it right.
Well, but the only reason I could do that on the spot is because I have practiced that pitch for so many hours, I'm sick of it. And while I've heard that pitch 1,000 times, I have to act as if everybody watching on that screen has never heard it once.
Yes.
And so I really try to make sure that every time I deliver my pitch, I do it in a way where I'm not saying it as if I've said it 1,000 times. I'm saying it as if they're hearing it for the very first time. That's my
And
goal.
it comes from your heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one more question. How important is that, your pitch, as a business owner?
I think it's the most important thing. Because, you know, if you look at everything else in business, if people don't understand what you do, it's game over before you even get on the pitch, right?
Yes.
So you've got to have that level of clarity to where people go, I get it, I know. I mean, this is why I like For You Fitness, right? What a great pitch. We can give you a 3-hour workout in 20 minutes. That's pretty cool, right? Using state-of-the-art space-age technology. I love that. It gets me real clear. This is a business which is designed for busy professionals who don't have 3 hours to work out, but they need to get that caloric burn anyway. I love it.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And obviously you know our pitch too.
Yeah,
So-
heard it a couple of times.
Yeah. Okay, so very important. One more thing before we get to your book. What's your favorite book right now that you're reading?
I'm actually in between books. I finished my last book yesterday, and I didn't begin on this one, but I'll tell you right now, the book that I'm going to start reading is called The Success Factor by Ernani Jung, who's one of our clients in KPI. and it just was released. It wasn't this morning, it was yesterday,
Uh-huh.
but it popped up on my Kindle because
Awesome.
I pre-ordered it.
Uh-huh.
So that's the book I'm going to start reading. But I will tell you, in terms of books past,
Uh-huh.
my favorite book in terms of business over the past 12 months would be one of two. One would be, I know you've read, I think, both of these. One is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. This guy's like a former FBI hostage negotiator, and he wrote a book on sales. It's awesome. And then the other one is Breeding Gazelles by Dan Bradbury. Have you read that one?
I read it.
Yeah.
You
So
recommend it.
yeah. Not to mention, I'll throw out a third one there if I can be so bold to plug yours. I read Fit Biz as well. I read the day it came out, and I'll tell you what, I loved this book. And I don't own a gym, but everything you said in this book was like an ass spanking for every business owner that's getting stuck into the weeds and getting caught up in their functional duties versus their vital role in their business as an entrepreneur. So this is a good book if you haven't bought this one yet. I also recommend Fit Biz. Even for people who don't have a gym, this is very valid information.
I really appreciate it. That's basically credibility right there. Okay, so this book. What can you tell me about this? And definitely, I need this book to begin with, so I guess just sell me on it.
Well, here's the thing about public speaking, and I'll even step out of public speaking to make the point. If you look at somebody who dresses today like they dressed in the 80s, they're a joke. If you look at an architect who's going to design a building today but make it look like it was designed in the 80s, they're not going to be in work, or they're not going to be working. Anything that was innovative back in the 80s now is a bit of a cliche. It's a joke. But yeah, if you look at most people that speak, they want to imitate these motivational speakers from the 1980s, and so they're walking and talking and sounding like these great motivational speakers, which are great, and they were amazing in the 80s, but they're still copying that 80s mentality. This book is designed to break people free from that 1980s motivational, happy, clappy speaker type techniques and get relevant, current ways of speaking that don't have those same kind of look and feel and shape to that. So I've tried to take a more controversial approach and share with people that there's other ways that you can speak powerfully without looking, walking, and talking like a 1980s
Motivational speaker, yeah. And you know a lot about that because you used to...
I used to be a 1980s motivational speaker. Yeah.
I actually have your DVDs at home.
And I was there, man. It's so funny. Everything in that book that I talk about, which annoys me today, I did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago. It's amazing. Like sometimes I even still do the stuff that annoys me. But yeah, so that's the approach. It's designed for business owners who feel like they've got a message that they want to take to the world and speak. And so that's what it's really designed for.
And you have all these graphics in it with you.
I have little nonverbals to show you the different positions that makes things work. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Even got pictures in the book for people who like to read. You can just look at the pictures.
And on camera, everything. So I assume you cover how to be on the news channel and stuff like that too, or?
Yeah, so what I've done is I broke the book into three main areas that I think if you're going to be a great speaker, you have to work on three areas. Number one is on stage, number two is in front of the camera, and number three is behind the desk. Okay. And actually the behind the desk is the one that's probably more important than on camera or on stage or in front of the camera. And it's the one that most people neglect.
Okay.
I see this all the time when people are getting ready to do a presentation, and the morning of the presentation they're still working on their PowerPoint slides.
Yeah, I see that.
It's a great example of somebody who's not working behind the desk. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then this book is definitely for me. I will definitely read it. And to get back to Chris Voss and his book, Never Split the Difference. So yes, he's a ex-FBI agent negotiator, the top of the line. And when I did my book review on him, he reached out to me personally, emailed me and messaged me on Facebook and said, "Thank you very much. I really appreciate for writing this review, and I'm glad you enjoed the book."
Yeah,
and
he's
I was
a cool
like,
guy.
yeah, he's a very cool guy.
He's very responsive to his fan base or his crowd.
Yeah. So the reason I'm saying this is because I hope you will do the same when I review this book.
I absolutely will. Yeah, and I hope to get a good review.
Yes, definitely.
If you don't like it, you can review somebody else's book. I hope you enjoy it.
No, I will definitely read it. I need to read it. I booked some public speakings because of you, so that's one thing, and then we will have to talk about that too later.
Awesome.
Last question, unless you have anything that you would like to share about your book or anything coming out. So, are you going to run for office?
Political office?
Yes.
I will not make any claims officially right now, but I will tell you that I've got my eye on the prize, and I'm looking very carefully at a very specific role. And I do have an ambition and desire to be the best possible servant to this city that I can.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right.
No worries.
Thank
you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.